So what is geography? Geography is nothing but, in the word geography itself you can see it says geo plus graphy. Geo means earth, graphy means to write or describe. Okay, so in this itself you can see nothing, don't complicate, it's nothing but describing the earth, describing or knowing what is there in the earth is nothing but geography. Geography is given by a Greek philosopher from the term called geographia, and the name of the philosopher is Eratosthenes, and he says it's nothing but the describing the lands, the features and the people living in it. Okay, that's all is geography. According to Google, which is very interesting, geography is nothing but the study of physical features of earth and its atmosphere, of human activity as it affects and is affected by in turn. Like you have a particular environment, how the environment affects a human and how the human in turn affects the environment. And then finally the distribution of the population, the political, the economical, the resources, all this distribution is nothing but geography. If I am asking you to describe in one term what is geography, what would it be? What would you tell me as geography is as? If it is only if it's a term or if it's a sentence, if I'm asking you what is geography, then how would you describe it as? I would describe it as where. Okay, what is where, why it is there and why it matters. If you are having an elaborate knowledge of these three, then that is your geography. For example, take an volcano or take a mountain. You should know what is where, why, where is a volcano or where is a mountain, why it is there, why has it formed in that particular place and why not in any other places. There are many volcanoes. If you are taking a particular volcano, why there, why that landscape, and then why does that matter, why should you know about the volcano. Okay, this is all what I'm talking about. If you are knowing this, then your geography is going to be very easy. Where is basically your geography and when is your history, right? So then see, why not, why are you not interested in knowing the surroundings of what is happening in the world? Are you not interested in knowing why it is happening or why that landscape is affecting the people, or why, what are the changes going on through and all that. So it's simple as that it gives you enormous amount of knowledge about your surroundings, about different parts of the world, thereby increasing your spatial knowledge. And see, it's very simple. Wouldn't you, if a child is coming and asking you what is it, if they're asking your name, you tell it out in a very easy manner. The same way, if you are showing mild interest in knowing about the existence of each part in the world, not each part, the needed parts in the world, then that is all your geography is. It says it isn't about just physical features and it isn't about just happenings of that and all. It is about the relationship between a man and an environment. You can call it as an interrelationship between a man and an environment, or between a people and environment and all that. Okay, so by having right understanding of the geography, me sitting here or you sitting there, you can travel through the whole world by just having the right understanding of the geography. When people travel the world, it's for their eyes to see and to store it for you. It's for their eyes. But if you just want to know where it is, why it is there and all you have to do is just have information about the place. Okay, by having a right understanding of the subject, you can travel through the whole world by being in the same place where you are. Now, if I am asking you to describe geography in your own terms, what would you, how would you describe it as? Please enter in the below comments so that I would know what is your opinion of geography and how simple or complex you think geography is. Many people, as I have already told you before, many people have this idea that geography is very tough. Geography is only for scientists. It's for nerds. We cannot go through geography. We can only know simple terms and all. They are all false statements. Geography is very simple and geography is very easy. It all depends upon your perspective and your way of seeing it. Okay. Now, next. Why is geography important for us? What is important to geography in our lives, or why has UPSC added this in our syllabus? See, geography in these coming days, it has evolved as one of the major disciplines in understanding about our surroundings, right? Now, it helps to fulfill people's quest for knowledge about their surroundings and about different parts of the world. And moreover, it's not just that, it influences a landscape. It influences a landscape politically, economically, technologically, and in a cultural manner. You would be wondering about how would it be influencing politically, or how would it be influencing in economical manner and all. It's many a times, or most of the times, it is geographical phenomena that always influences a landscape. May it be in socially, may it be in a social manner, it can be culturally, it can be about art or clothing, food, craft work, the way the people are dressing up, the way the people eat their food, the way the people have things around them is your cultural geography. Then politically, it is nothing but geopolitics and geostrategy. Geopolitics and geostrategy. Then economically, it can be about your economically, it can be your primary sector, tertiary sector, or secondary sector. And then technologically, it can be in innovation. Innovation means finding out or finding some new thing in the field of climate change, in the field of mining, transportation, etc. All these things, by knowing all these things, we can clearly say that this geography helps in knowing a place particularly well. And also, you can very strongly say that geography gives you fundamental knowledge about anything, or it influences a land or any landscape fundamentally, and it helps a person have particular spatial skills. This is one part. And then finally, civil servant. Having a civil servant will not only know the underlying reasons of what is happening in the world, what is happening or why is it happening in the world, but also he will always, or he or she, they will always have much better plans. They can evolve better plans, and then have make efficient administration in executing an efficient administration towards an inclusive and sustainable development, which is most vital being an Indian administrative officer. This is what you need. Then finally, it is also heavily covered in GS paper 1 and GS paper 3. In GS paper 1 directly, and GS paper 3, which is usually an economic paper, it is covered indirectly. Questions about your agriculture, questions about your environment, your crops, roads, railways, transport system, all these things will be covered indirectly in your GS3, right? Now, considerable number of questions in both your prelims and your mains. Okay, so what do you mean by considerable number of questions? Recently, 2 years back, UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, has also added environment, Indian Forest Services, to UPSC. Ecology and biodiversity increase the importance, and totally you can expect 25 to 35 questions from geography. Okay, see, you might be wondering, in a paper or in an exam where even half mark, 0.25 marks or 1 mark is very important, where you are writing 100 questions and getting 200 marks, out of 200 marks, 25 to 35 questions easily, or 70 marks, 50 to 70 marks is very big deal. These days, marks or the place gets decided by half mark, 0.25 mark or 1 mark, right? So where in when the this is what is the examination characteristic. So having knowledge about this geography and reading subject of geography, what would you think of, what is your opinion of civil service geography in civil service examinations? I have already asked you this, and I asked you to write it, enter into your comments, so that I would be knowing what is your opinion about geography. We will also see the importance of geography. Before we go to syllabus and mains of geography, we will see what's the importance of geography. For example, say you want to be very smart. Why do we learn geography, or why should we learn geography and all? It's very simple. Say if you want to learn the importance of geography in terms such as uh, you are meeting a boy or you are meeting a girl suddenly, and the person will be asking you, you can't go and ask them their age directly, right? So you can make use of the knowledge of geography you have, because learning geography makes you smarter. Instead of asking what is your name or how old are you can always ask how many times have you revolved around the sun. How tough is that question? It's very easy, right? So if you are knowing this, if you are asking that, it also there's a success chances are higher and all, but let me not go there and all. That is one smart way of asking a person's age. So that is, it makes a person smarter. Okay. Now another thing, understanding the news which are in context. Without having the right understanding of geography, you won't be able to put the news in a proper perspective. Okay, having current affairs or reading anything and having them in a proper perspective, it will help. Geography will help you in doing all these things. And also, for example, knowing Hong Kong is in southern part of China, you will know why the administration of Hong Kong is different from the entire Chinese country. Why is it? Because Hong Kong is geographically isolated. Hong Kong is geographically isolated from the rest of China. For understanding international relations is nothing but geopolitics and geostrategy. It's nothing but how a landscape is influencing the country's politics, the strategy of a country is your IR subject, is your international relations. Okay. Now finally we'll also know about, whenever you are reading history, don't you think you have seen some geographical places mentioned there, and many of the wars happen because of geography. See, you won't be able to know the entire detailed working of World War II without knowing the importance, or without knowing the part played by Russia or Britain. Okay, all these things. If you want to understand history better, study geography. Then to understand different culture, like I have always told you before, which I have mentioned how geography influences landscape socially. I told you migration transformance. Culturally, I told you it can be food or clothing or arts or craft work. For example, in India itself, each state has its own importance. Okay, Arunachal Pradesh is different from south, and Arunachal Pradesh or Mizoram or Manipur is different from your north, and your Jammu Kashmir is different from your Chennai, your Karnataka is different from your Rajasthan. This is all not because the administration there is different or anything, it's because the landscape, okay, how it affects the landscape. And why is it that the dressing system of some people is different, or why is it, that's culture, that's tradition of that place and that people, the food, the arts, the craft work. Don't you have the interest in knowing why is it new in each place and all? That's what, that is your geography. It influences a place culturally, because we have various diversifications in various things. We have incredible diversities and cultures throughout the world, and India is the head of all these cultures and all these diversifications. Now next one, you have to be another importance is be prepared for the future. If you are going somewhere, geographical skills guide your decisions importantly in every day. For example, like architecture to politics to business and all these places, whatever is happening today will be in your history books tomorrow, right? And that will be both your geography and your history. In the modern era, or slowly the stages of going into modern era, each thing changes. We are not the same of what we have been 10 years before, or we won't be the same future in the next 10 years before. So this part, how you are affecting the environment, like the Google definition, or how Google says how a human affects the environment, or how the environment is affecting a human, Okay, all these things will be how you have, how what is environment providing you and what you are providing back to environment. Understanding geography will play a vital role in this. Now next thing is, for example, travel. You can travel smart if you are going somewhere. When you know what is existing there and why that particular specific thing is there, your travel will be more interesting. Your travel will be more smarter. That's what I meant by travel smart. Okay, you can get the most out of your travel experiences. You remember what I told about sitting in the same place and traveling throughout the world by having the right understanding of geography. This is what I meant. Okay, so that is by your eyes. You know already where you are, what you know about the place and all. Okay, now finally we will also see the importance of geography when it comes to your interview. Like you see, I have mentioned it here, helps in interview. See, being an Indian administrative officer, Indian administrative service officer, you will be posted as a DM for any district. And when you are posted as DM, or when you are the IAS officer of the particular district, you will be the de facto head of district disaster management authority. So always having the right idea of what is in a particular place, what is going on. For example, if it is raining more, you should be knowing, like, why is it raining so much, why is there so much of flooding in this place, why is there so much of water logging, why is there so much of precipitation, why is there so much of landslides. If you are knowing why it happens and if you are knowing what are the remedies for this, this will help in answering your interview questions in a proper manner. If you are having the right understanding, you can answer back. So, and when you are posted there, if you are knowing what happens and why it happens, and when you know what happens and why it happens, you would always know the remedies. By how can you stop it, or how can you make it slow, or how can you reduce the effects it is causing on humans. Because that is what you are doing by being an Indian IS officer in any of the district. That is what they are posting you for. You have to vouch for the well-being of the place where you are, right? So you have to maintain law and order of the place, right? No. You might have heard about Vijay Pingale. He was an Indian administrative officer in Chennai. There has been an article about him telling that he helped when there was heavy waterlogging in Chennai. He helped limit the waterlogging that was caused because of heavy rains. And some of the people or some of the officials have also opined that if he was there for another 2 years, he could have reduced the disastrous effect caused due to heavy rains and floods in Chennai few years ago. He could have reduced the effect of it. So this is what is the importance of learning about the place where you stay and all. Okay, and also if you are having the right knowledge, you can always take up the remedies, right, of the place. If we can, maybe if it is for landslides, you can know the remedy cause of what can be the remedy cause and how to reduce the landslide, or how to stop. You can't stop natural causes, but always how to reduce its effect on humans, how not to make the damage more, how can we reduce it. That's all we have to be concentrated about, right? Then greatly, this will help you in interview. If you are knowing about a particular place, you can understand the question they are asking, and you can answer them in a very right manner and in a very wise manner. What you can do being a DM of a particular place. Now we will see what's the syllabus. Okay, in prelims we have two parts, Indian and the world geography. Okay, let me just rub off the board. It's so how interesting do you think geography is? Okay, you might also be thinking about, whenever you have heard or gone to some places, or when you had people talk to you, people might have made you uncomfortable maybe the moment you have thought about UPSC seeing a subject of geography and stuff, you might have been thinking that it is very tough. There is very vast syllabus. How am I going to manage this? How am I going to study further? You should not be having fear of such things, because geography is very easy. Always, if you want to make your history more interesting and important, study geography. And when you do your geography properly, all your studies, almost all subjects, it will be very easier for you. Okay, now we'll see about syllabus. I'm done with this. Yes, in syllabus we have two parts, Indian and world geography. In Indian geography we have physical features, okay, geomorphology. Geomorphology is nothing but study of the land. Oceanography, okay, oceanography is nothing but study of the oceans. Climatology, study of climatic seasons and how they are occurring and all, how they are influencing our country and the rest of the world, okay. And oceanography is nothing but the study of oceans, right? So it's as simple as that. Don't get scared by seeing some terms. When you can break it down and you can always come to a downmost definition and learn it in simple terms. I also want to warn you that UPSC is not asking any factual questions anymore. They don't want your factualness anymore. They don't want your factual clarity on what subject. They want your concept clarity, how much you're understanding, what is your understanding of each subject, how much of you can you apply when there is a question being asked, okay. All of things. If you are seeing the last 2 to 3 years prelims question paper, you can see that they have asked you concept based questions. They want your concept clarity. They don't want your factualness. They want your clarity, and they would like to see what is your knowledge on each concept and how you are applying that knowledge when there is a question asked related to that particular topic. So do not by heart anything. It's very easy. Just understand the subject, just understand the concept, and you will be clarified with the rest of the topic, right? Now, in Indian geography, in prelims we have India and world geography, which is physical geography, social geography, economic geography and biogeography of India and the world. Also, we have climate change, biodiversity and environment without any subject specialization. Geography has not given your, for prelims they have just mentioned this much and this much for your prelims. They have not specialized anything. Mostly, usually it will be current affairs when it comes to climate change, when it comes to biogeography and when it comes to environment, it will be mostly your current affairs. So pay attention. By having right understanding of the geography, you can put all of your current affairs in the right context. That is your prelim syllabus. And then coming to your main syllabus. Your main syllabus is a little bit detailed. Okay, so your main syllabus, it says part 1 is your prelims and part 2 you have two parts. See here, you have physical geography. In physical geography you will be seeing world physical geography including India, world as well as India. Okay, for example, India, you can study about the central plains, the northern mountains, okay, the southern the central plains and the southern landscapes, how it is and all. That is what I mean by physical features. Okay, for example, how did Himalayas form, or what are the mountains, or what is the landscape in central India, which consists of many mountains. Wouldn't you like to know how was Thar desert formed, or what is the importance of Aravalli mountains when it comes to monsoons, or what is the importance of any of the mountains, what is the importance of Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats, what is the importance of Bay of Bengal, what is the importance of Arabian Sea, okay, Arabian Ocean, Arabian Sea, right? All of these things, Arabian Sea, not ocean though. Now, this comes under your world physical geography, and with India, this is the part. With world, you can study about various physical features about Andes, about the Atlas Mountains, Andes Mountains, Sahara Desert, okay, all these places which are there in South America, which are there in North America, and your African continent, and your Europe, okay, all these places, and the way these mountains or hills or water systems or anything is influencing the surroundings around it will be your world physical geography. Okay, now second thing is geography, geophysical phenomena like earthquake, tsunami, volcanic activity, cyclones, etc. Earthquake. So we will be knowing there are some specific sensitive regions in the world where earthquake is more common than the rest of the world. Why does earthquake happen very frequently only in those regions? Why not everywhere? Okay. And second thing, tsunami. So when I'm saying tsunami, what can you recollect which has happened in the recent past? The Indonesian tsunami, what happened, which has taken many lives, okay, because of the eruption of Krakatoa volcano, which was in the sea of, that's your homework. You can just open your maps or open your world map or open your Google Maps and find out where it is. Where is the place of Indonesia located and where is the volcano of Krakatoa? Okay, so that is tsunami. How did it affect or how did it influence that day when it came to the person's lives, or there was a concert happening, many people were living their lives as usual, but because of the eruption of Krakatoa volcano, it induced tsunami and many lives were lost. There was so much of property and so much of damage to the property and human lives. Now volcanic activity. Volcanic activity is again nothing but there are different types of volcanoes. Why does a volcanic eruption takes place, and what happens when a volcanic eruption takes place, and what are the types of volcanoes will be a volcanic type, why it happens. Like I said, if you remember my class in the beginning correctly, what is where, why it is there, and why it matters will be your geography, will be your main concept of your geography. Make your life easier, make your life easier, and always know what is there, what is where, all these things. Okay, and finally cyclones. Recently Odisha, okay, when I'm talking about India, and but all the South Asian countries, and they were all suffering from the cyclones of different cyclones, Okchi cyclone, okay, all this. What is the how are cyclones formed? What is the direction they travel, and what are the types of, what are the names of cyclones in each country is different. For example, in our Indian subcontinent, we call them as cyclones, right? Now the same way these cyclones are addressed as typhoons in Japan, okay, all these places, and we call them as hurricanes in another part of the world. So we have different terms for the word called cyclone. Now final, and again geographical features, I already discussed about this with you, the landscapes and geographical features. It can be about, when it comes to geographical features, it can be their location, and it can be the changes and the effects on flora and fauna, interrelationship between the environment and the people. Okay, the location means, like I said, see, I am mentioning it again. What is where, why it is there, and why it matters. If you are knowing these three topics properly, then your geography will be very easy. Okay, okay, you guys didn't see where I have done it. I'll do it once again. What's where, why it is there, and why it matters. Geography is always more than maps. Don't think geography is always atlas, we have to see that and turn the book something and then geography is done. Geography is not that. In fact, you will be surprised how much geography makes your life more interesting and more special, for me at least. Okay, so this is what is your first part, physical geography. Then your second part will be your world geography and Indian geography. This is nothing but distribution of key natural resources including South Asia. For example, why is coal distributed more in one place? Coal or gold or uranium or some of these minerals or anything, why are they distributed in some part of the world and why not? Distribution of key natural resources, and what are the criteria needed for extracting those resources or all those things, and how does it influence where is industry located or what it means and all that. Okay, that is your distribution of key natural resources. And secondly, factors responsible for location of primary, secondary and tertiary industries in various parts. What are the factors that influences the location of primary, secondary and tertiary sectors? How does it affect us? Okay, this is not as though, for example, if you are seeing a coal mine recently or coal mine in a place, you would be seeing an industry which extracts coals and transport coal in very nearby place. Nobody would want to make too much of transport distance between the place where a particular mineral or resource is available, and you wouldn't want to have larger distance, right? So what are the factors responsible for location of primary industry, secondary industry, tertiary industry? Basically, for tertiary industries, there wouldn't be any factors responsible, at least not physically. Not physical in the sense, no primary items like no minerals, no resources or anything like that. You know what is tertiary sector, right? So, and then this is your syllabus about your world geography and Indian geography. Now, another point is, you would be wondering about how much material should be accumulated for me to have knowledge of geography. How many books should I be studying? How many people's words should I be listening if I am to follow geography? How many books and all, right? It is nothing. Once again, it's very easy. Don't complicate things. I tell you, you follow specific amount of books. Don't follow large number of books. Don't accumulate materials. Have you heard about the sentence, or have you heard about this one that says, Muhammad Ali always says, I am not afraid of a man who knows 1,000 kicks, but I am afraid of a man who has practiced one kick 1,000 times. So I hope you are understanding what is the meaning of this, or why am I quoting this right now, right? See, if you are always searching for material and if you are always wanting new books for your studies or anything, it will always add more burden on your mental, it will give you more mental stress, and it is more burden on your brain. Always have specific or concise material, but revise the material again and again. That is how you will become that is how you will have proper clarity regarding concept. Okay, now see, what are the books you need to study for you to enter UPSC, right? Or for you to write civil service examination conducted by UPSC. So how is it? The books of NCERT from 8th to 12th standard. Okay, so read the NCERT books of 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, 11th and 12th standard. Okay, your 11th and 12th NCERT has everything of your 8th, 9th and 10th. But why I am asking you to read 8th, 9th and 10th also? Because they have given you every term in a simple manner, in a way which you would understand without any complexness. Okay, without any complexity. For example, if you want to know, how many of you can tell me honestly that this is why rain occurs? What are the types of rain? What is orography? Or what are the types of rain? Orographical rain, cyclonic, or how many of you can tell why is there precipitation happening? Or early mornings these days in whichever place you are staying, you can see some changes. Some place it is very sunny, some place it is very layman's terms about everything. Okay, this will improve your knowledge when you are writing questions and answers for your mains exam. Okay, this will improvise your sentences and your makeouts. Then this book, GC Leong, Certificate Physical and Human Geography. he has given you very clearly about climatology, about about vegetations in each places and how it affects, about the monsoons, like I spoke about right now, precipitation, fog and all that. They have given in a very clear, concise manner in GC Leong. This book is considered to be very important for the subject of climatology, but as far as I'm concerned, the book has vast knowledge and it is very important. Then me, I love to know which place exists, where in the world. Like I am very curious. I'm by birth I'm a very curious person. Like knowing why is it there, why should it only be there, and why not and all. Some questions you cannot answer, but at least you can know where is it, right? So that's what I like to know. I like different places, maybe small or big. Where is San Andreas? Where is Alaska? Where is Ethiopia, or where is Sahara Desert, or all these oceans, small oceans, big oceans, where is Mariana Trench, where is Sunda Trench, where is Java Trench, all these things I like seeing, okay? I like knowing which is where, and your atlas will help you in your UPSC also, in your civil service examination conducted by UPSC, because they might ask you questions about location of particular places. For example, a couple of last year they have asked you the countries that do not touch Mediterranean Sea. If you see the world map, you can clearly make out what are the countries that do not touch Mediterranean Sea. These are the type of questions. Make your atlas ready and keep it in hand. If you are finding a new place, refer atlas. It will make your geography more interesting. It will be more easy for you to remember. Okay, this place, these characteristics, these specifications. Okay. Now, last thing is your current affairs. Pay your current affairs and your Yojana and your Kurukshetra. Your current affairs, because like I said, the main rule of you before you starting geography is keep your syllabus at your fingertips. Know about each topic, keep them in your mind. Know what is it, what comes where. Is this there in syllabus or not? When you are knowing your syllabus completely, that is almost 20% of your job done, because when you are reading current affairs, or when you are reading your Yojana or Kurukshetra or any of this, you will know, okay, this topic is important, this is mentioned very clearly in syllabus, I should pay more attention to it. So your concept will become clearer, so you will be able to make out some sense of it. This is why I asked you to keep your atlas ready, as well as to make your concepts very clear. If you are having a syllabus at your fingertips, that is 20% of your job done. So your syllabus is important, your atlas is important, and then you have to follow magazines of Yojana and Kurukshetra, because they will be covering small topics and vast topics sometimes in of those books, and also GC Leong, the book Certificate Physical and Human Geography, and then finally NCERT books. This is all what you need for the subject of geography. Don't accumulate books, that institution, this institution, let me try all the three institutions. That will just confuse you more at the end. Keep one source and then keep on revising that source again and again. That is how you become master of the subject. Okay, so today, so far, what have we seen? We have seen what is geography, what is the importance of geography in UPSC. Okay, and we have seen what are people's thoughts about geography, and how people think that something is tough and something is not tough. What is their opinion about geography and all. And also we have seen the importance of geography when it comes to interview, or from when it comes to the perspective when you are head of, when you are DM of your district, or things like that. And we have seen what's the syllabus, and we have seen what is the definition of geography, and finally we have seen the books needed for geography. Keep it simple, always, like the formula which I have given, what is where, why it is there, and why it matters. Keep everything simple, know the concept, and conquer the subject. That's it for today, guys. We will see again in the coming few days. Good evening. Okay, I have not seen some of the questions asked by you guys here. So, Sushma Nandakumar, geography is a good scoring subject in UPSC field. Of course, it is. By seeing the few years question paper in UPSC, you can easily make out that geography is a very good scoring subject. Okay, and when you are taking your own optional, there will be guidance for you how you can score in an easy manner and all that stuff. But yes, geography is a good scoring subject. Then I have already let you know about the reference books. So just follow your basic books, your NCRT, then your GC Leong, and also your books, your material or what we teach. Just take notes. It always helps when you are seeing something new, some news important. May it be a volcanic activity, or may it be a tsunami activity, or may it be a country in the news current context and all. Seeing what it means and all, it always helps. Current affairs, make some notes, and your atlas is also going to be play a very important role in your preliminary examination. Okay, so if you have any further doubts, you can always reply the comments and I will reply you back. Okay, I have not seen any other questions. Okay, no, thank you, have a good day, enjoy.